welcome to or welcome back to Amandasaur Art. My name's Amanda and I like dinosaurs and art and crafts. In my last crafty video, it was the making a candle. I asked if anyone would want to see me making soap, and one person said they wanted to see it, and so that was enough for me to do it. And so today I didn't get the soap making kit, but I did get all the supplies to make my own soap. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I ended up making way more soap this way than had I made it with the kit. And so it ended up being cheaper all around technically. I spent about $28 for everything you see in the video after tax, and I'm really happy with everything I got. It's all by the brand Creative You. You can find those at your local Walmarts, hopefully. I found them at both of the Walmarts in town, so hopefully all your Walmarts have it. I got the 2-pound clear melt and pour soap, and it only took maybe a minute to melt in the microwave, and that was really nice, helpful, and quick. I really liked it. I did do a practice run with my husband on this to kind of see how easy it is to make soap, and he was able to do it. So if he can do it, you can do it. I promise. It's so easy. All you have to do is melt the soap, choose your colors, and add your fragrance, and that's pretty much it. I had a lot of fun making the soaps. I liked experimenting with colors and fragrances. My favorite fragrance that I got was coconut, and I love the smell of that. I was trying not to use it for everything, but I used it for a lot. I also got floral soap molds because I love florals. I didn't get the floral scents. I got tropical. I don't know why I did that combo. I like florals and I like the tropical smelling soaps. It's just what happened. And so here you could see me doing the purple color I made. I was just going to focus on one soap for this video, like one bar, maybe two. I ended up making way more purple soap than I anticipated, so what I ended up doing is just experimenting and just trying to fill in certain areas of my molds, so that way, I could see what it would look like layering. I think this would have been a really cool effect had I made the purple a lot darker. I did end up doing a really, really cool effect with my purple rose. It's the big circle you see there. What I did is I took a few drops of like blue and red, and then I swooshed it around. You'll see it. It's better. It's probably easier to see than to explain. But I used the back of my spoon to kind of marbleize the soap colorant, and this turned out to be one of my favorite soaps I made. I did this technique again with the one right below it, only I wanted a green to be like leafy background, and I didn't have green. So what I ended up doing was I did a base color with just 2 cubes of like the yellowy color that was left over from a previous mixing that my husband and I did. And I just filled the rest of the soap up with that colorant, and then I left a little bit inside my mug, and I quickly used the blue and yellow to make a green, and then I did the marbly effect for the rest of the background. You do kind of have to move quickly with the soap because it does harden pretty fast. Not to where it's completely ready to be popped out, but to where it becomes really messy to play with, and so I do recommend going quickly, as quick as you can. Maybe start with a solid color, see how quickly it works and see how it plays, and then go from there. One of my favorite soaps that I made in my first trial run with my husband was the bee-shaped one, and I got a really nice honey color, and so I wanted to demonstrate how I got this nice honey color, and I think it came out even better the second time around. And so I melted my melt and pour. I poured it into a separate container so I could keep my melting pot clear, so that way no colors got into it. And I put in a bunch of yellow. I did a couple of drops of red. I was trying not to go too crazy with red. I wasn't going for orange. And then a single drop of blue. Just a single tiny drop. Because blue and orange on the color wheel are opposite. And so that's how I get a nice muted orangey yellow look. And so you'll see here with my first go around, it ended up being extra clear because it just was extra clear. I don't know why. I just need to add more color in. And so I will go back in and add the same portions again to this. I think for the second round I did less yellow than the first round, maybe just a smidgen less yellow. And so that's why it comes out darker in the end than my original. And so you can kind of play around, see what you like, see what works for you. But the most important thing to get this honey color is a single drop of blue. You don't want to overpower it. Otherwise it's not going to be cute. And we're going for cute soap here. So that's what I recommend there. Another thing I really highly recommend for everybody to do is get some like rubbing alcohol and put it in a spritz bottle, so that way you can spritz away all the bubbles that are there on the top, so your soap is even more finished and more beautiful than you could imagine. I know finding rubbing alcohol right now is kind of difficult. I didn't even bother looking at my Walmart when I went to get this soap. It was Saturday and it was packed, so I had a feeling even if they had it, it was already gone. So I didn't get that, so my soap all came out with bubbles in them, but I'm okay with that. I like how they came out anyways. Right there I showed you one of the previous ones that was made. That color is actually the one my husband came up with. My favorite color is pink, and so I had to make my own pink soap. My color came out a lot paler, and so I don't know. I guess I didn't use as much color as he did. Or actually, you know what? I think I remember what he did there. I think he did the method I did with the purple rose that you see right below the pink one I'm working on. I think he did that method around the edges of this pink soap that I was using as my reference, and so that's probably why he got a nicer pink than I did. He's also the one who came up with that idea. He just did it on his own, and I fell in love with that, and so I decided to copy him. So props to Ethan for coming up with a really cool soap technique that I really enjoyed and want to keep using over and over again. Once my soaps were hardened enough to pop out of the molds, that's what I did here. To speed up the process of them hardening, what I did was I put them in the fridge once they were not so liquid anymore. So they had already set up for a decent amount of time, and then I put them in the fridge for the last remaining bit. I think I did like maybe an hour sitting out in room temperature and then maybe another hour in the fridge, just to be sure that they were hard enough to take out of the molds. Taking them out of the molds kind of looks difficult, but it was pretty easy. Sometimes they were a little stuck to them, so it required a little bit more pressure than you think you should put. But even with that, the soaps remained intact, and so did the molds. The molds are still ready to be used again for my next project whenever I do that. The Daisy flower soap that I made, it came out really thin because I had run out of soap by that point. I also didn't like how it came out, so we'll get into that in a minute. Right here is the bee comparison, so we can see the different shades. The one on the left is going to be the one I just did, and the one on the right is the previous one. And I think I like the new bee a little bit better. And here is the green background floral thing that I did, that I kind of tried to walk you through in the beginning. It turned out so cute. I wish I had made the purple a little bit brighter for the flowers so that it really popped, but I really love how that one turned out. And here's my favorite, the rose. It's just so pretty. It came out so dimensional and beautiful, and I love all the different colors you see through there, and so that one's probably my favorite that I made with this batch. And here is me setting up all the soap that I had made for this part of the video. You can see how all of them turned out. None of them are necessarily bad, but there were two right there that I was not happy with. And so I set them aside, and now I'm going to show you what to do when you're not happy with soap. So what I did was I chose the colors that were very similar, the pink and the blues. I put them in a separate container. I tried to like break it with my hands. That didn't work, so what I ended up doing was just getting a knife and cutting it just so I could melt them quicker too. I cut them up, put them in one container. I used the green residue left in that one mug because I knew I was going to make this green. And so I cut those up nice and good. And I put them into that one mold, or not mold, but cup. And then I took a little bit of that orange and red, and I decided to put that in there as well, just to start that process and make sure I had plenty of soap for what I wanted to make next. I decided to make this new batch green like I had previously said, so I used blue and yellow, and I added my fragrance, and then I tweaked it to get the right shade that I wanted. And this time I used a lot more colorant than my previous designs, which ended up making it a very nice, almost solid color, but still see-through. I really love how this one turned out. It's so pretty. It ended up having every single one of the fragrance oils I had mixed into this. So if you get the same set of fragrance oils, the ocean, the coconut, and the citrus scents, and they all end up mixed together, it's actually a really nice smell, and I was not mad at it. So it's one of my favorite soaps now because of just the smell alone. It's just so beautiful. I did end up adding just a little bit of blue and yellow to this to swirl, and the yellow didn't show up. It was kind of a waste of yellow, but I tried it. Maybe it showed up a little bit and I just don't know it, but I just wanted to keep doing that technique because I love it so much. Now onto my orange red one. For the pinks, I just used the plain red dye, and it was a very pinky color, but I wanted a more orangey red color, so I added the red and then I added the yellow. It's definitely a lot orangier toned than the other ones, and that's kind of what I was going for. And then I got a little crazy. I did not want to make purple, but I did want to have it be a... Sorry, Lexi is deciding to dig right behind me. I did want to add some of the blue to add a fun texture to it, so I kind of swirled it in the little mixture there, and then I poured it into my mold, and it came out really cool looking. I'm really happy with how that one turned out. I was very inspired to do these soaps by Royalty Soaps here on YouTube. If you haven't seen their channel, you really need to go watch their channel. It is the best, and I really recommend doing this during this quarantine. If you are looking for something to do that's fun and easy, 10 out of 10 recommend. So much fun. I'm already planning on getting more soap making stuff because it was just so much fun to do this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!